Most of the people here would have the Irish language and they'd use it in their day-to-day lives. You'll notice that the road signs are in Irish and English, and the place names all come from Irish. Now Slieve is the Irish for a mountain or a cliff, and League is the Irish for a flagstone or a long flat stone. So the direct translation is the cliff of the flagstones. But we'll get a closer look at the makeup of the mountain as we get closer to the top. Now you'll notice that the land around here is not very good for growing crops or vegetables of any kind. It's wet, soft and boggy, but it's good for growing sheep. And we grow lots of sheep around here. And most of the houses there'd be a farmer, but the farms here would be very small. Farmers tend to work in the fish factories and at the processing plants back down in Killybegs. They'll work there over the winter months, then they're home for the summer to look after the farm. But up on the mountain today, all of the adult sheep that you see up here, these are all females, and these ladies will live out on the mountain all year round. They'll be gathered in and brought back down to the village 3 or 4 times throughout the year. They'll come back down for 2 baths, once to get a haircut, to get some new makeup on, and they'll come back down again in October or November time, and they'll meet up with the rams or the male sheep, and the lambs are born then out on the mountainside in April and May. Right out ahead of us now, we're going to get a very quick glimpse across Donegal Bay. You're looking straight across there at County Sligo. You can see Ben Bulben starting to clear as well. Now this house on the very corner here on the right, this would have been the birthplace of Dr. Sean O'Ahy. He was born here in 1913, and he's significant because back in the 50s he would have been tasked with the job of collecting, recording all of the music, stories and the folklore. He recorded that from the people that lived around here and in areas like this all over Donegal. It was all recorded on what were wax cylinders. They were the technology of the time, and his collection is there to be viewed today in UCD in Dublin. Now Slieve League has benefited over the last couple of years from some European funding. There was about €5 million spent here. Now the money was spent here to improve the roads, car parks, toilet facilities and the new visitor centre you've seen below. We also have a couple of staff here to keep the place clean and tidy. And my favourite part of the whole new project is this automatic gate just up ahead. Saves me getting in and out of the bus all day. Now the gate is kept closed here at all times because from here on out in the mountain, this is what's known as commonage or common land. It's common to a set amount of farmers who have rights to graze their animals out here. Now, as part of the new project, there was a number of stones fitted along the roadway and along the walking path. We'll pass by 3 of those stones on our way to the top. The first of the stones is at the top of this hill on the right hand side of the road. It's a large flat standing stone. It just contains information on the mountain and on the walking path. But the next 2 stones we pass are egg-shaped stones. We know them locally as the eggs. First of the eggs is here just to remind you to stop, have a look around you and to take it all in. The second of the eggs, you'll notice it's covered in carvings of cattle. You'll see the face of a girl on the stone as well. And it's there to tell the story of Anya. Now, Anya was a local girl who was minding the family's cattle on the hills to the left, but she never returned home. People at the time were convinced or thought that the fairies took her. They took her into the mountain and she was never seen again. Now, the people around here would have had a great belief in fairies. They probably had a greater fear of them. So anything that was ever left unexplained was usually blamed on the fairies. Now, as I said, the name Slieve League translates as the Cliff of the Flagstones. And if you look out on the right hand side, you'll see a close look at the makeup of the mountain and why it got that name. The whole mountain is made up of flagstones. Now, years ago, when people were building their houses or their cottages, they would have come up here and picked out their flagstones for use as building materials and for supports above their windows and doors. Now, that practice has obviously changed, but this is now an area of conservation. So there's no more quarrying allowed. You're not allowed to take any more stone from the mountain. Like that, the local people would cut their turf on the roadsides here. That's forbidden now as well. So most of the local people that still cut turf have a plot on the opposite side of the mountain. Now out to the left, we're going to get another look across Donegal Bay. You'll be looking again across to Slieve, but this time you'll see a bit of County Mayo as well. Right out ahead of us, as we come round the corner here, we're going to be looking across the Atlantic Ocean. The next village in this direction is New York.
New York. Oh my God.
Now, the waters around Slieve are full of life. Over the last 6 weeks or so, we've had dolphins here nearly every day. On a nice calm day, you'll see the basking sharks in the water below. But in the coming weeks, we get a visit from the bluefin tuna. Now, the tuna that come here, they can weigh up to 500 kilos. And from the 1st of August, the local angling boats, the charter boats, they'll fish the tuna. Now, they fish them here with small boats and fishing rods. They'll catch them, tag them, and then release them again. You're not allowed to keep them or to kill them here anymore. Now, the water along the base of the cliff is about 60 feet deep. It runs down to 120 feet deep very quickly. The water's clean and it's clear. It's a good area for scuba diving. Now, it's thought that Slieve was formed or created over 250 million years ago, when the world's continents collided and they created a mountain. Slieve was part of that mountain. And if you've ever heard of the Appalachian Trail, the Appalachian Trail retraces the top of that mountain across the world. It begins at Springer Mountain in Georgia on the east coast of the United States, and it heads north to Greenland. And then the European leg of the International Appalachian Trail begins here at Slieve.
Wow.
It's an attraction to serious hill walkers from all over the world. Now, up ahead of us at the cliffs, still a bit of cloud hanging over it today. Those 3 small peaks you see below the cloud, that's what we know as the one man's pass. It's a small path wide enough for one man or one woman at a time. People come from all over to walk it. Now, I'll drop you here in the top car park. The walking path will be directly in front of the bus, and the viewing platform is just 100 yards away. Now, the buses will return every 20 minutes, so when you're ready to come back down again, just watch the car park here and you'll see the buses coming and going, and you'll get a lift back down.